I'm missing something. I'm missing something. It's right in front of me, and I'm not seeing it. And I don't know if I took a day off. I don't know if I tuned in late one night. I don't know how it got past me. But what is going on at 185 pounds, specifically with Israel Adasanya? If you guys know that answer, I can get up and go home. But I'm missing it. Somewhere along the way, we were told he was going to fight Robert Whittaker. But there's no fight announced between Adesanya and Robert Whittaker. Am I wrong about that, guys? Am I wrong about that? A week ago, Eugene Berryman, who trains Adesanya and possibly manages him, did an interview and stated if Darren Till wins 2 fights, we will not give Whittaker the fight. We'll take on Darren Till. Well, wait a minute. If Till wins 2 fights, that alone is going to take 7 months. Then he's going to have to recover and train and press tour and go into a year out. Is Izzy planning to wait a year? And is the fight with Whittaker not a done deal? If the fight with Whittaker isn't a done deal, then who's Adesanya going to fight? Who the hell is Whittaker going to fight? And why didn't that get done? Which, absent of any of those answers, leads me to believe I'm missing something, right, guys? This was announced, and I missed it. This came out in a headline, and I clicked on a different site. This was on a show somewhere, and Chael was on the wrong channel, right? Whittaker must be fighting Adesanya. He's got to be. But now there's talk out of nowhere after Cannonier gets the jump on Kelvin, even said by Cannonier, I hope I get a title fight next. Hope you get a title. Is that open? Is that an option? You're telling me Adesanya does not have a partner, and moreover, you're telling me the partner wasn't Whittaker? When did this happen? Where was I? Adesanya did an interview. I think he was talking to Helwani. But he was talking about the loss to Jan Blachowicz. And he said, I don't mind that at all. I do not regret, even what I know now, going up and trying. I don't regret learning about that top control, about the positions, learning the different strengths, learning that for right now, until I'm dedicated and fully commit to light heavyweight, I need to stay in my weight class. Why would I regret any of that? It was a different day. It's behind me, and I move on. That's not just things to say. That's exactly where you'd like an athlete to be. That's where you would like to be. But a lot of times you're saying the right stuff. With Adesanya, that's a shoot. It's straight. He does not mind. He's a competitor. And what happened yesterday is behind you. You want to break that down even smaller as an athlete. You want that the night of. Round 1 doesn't go your way. When you come out for round 2, round 1 is behind you. When you're in round 2, trying to win that one, you're not thinking about round 3. You want to slow that down and back that up as many times as you can. And as simple as this to say, I will just tell you as an athlete, it's very hard to do. You're running a race, all you got to do is put one foot in front of the other, but it's hard. Your chest is pounding. You're tired. There's people around. When's my next drink? Where's the nearest bathroom? Is this thing almost done? Can I make it 10 more kilometers? It's just one of those things. But all you have to do is one foot in front of the next. Do that enough times, you make it to the end of the race. Doesn't work that way. Very hard to not do what's called taking inventory. Very hard to not look ahead. Very hard to not remember what just happened. It's hard. It's a skill. But Adesanya does have it. He showed us that in fights. He is reset in between rounds. Go see Adesanya versus Gastelum. He had a reset and then he had a reset again. But the greats can do that. The greats aren't afraid to get beat. The greats aren't afraid to go out there and compete. And people always want to talk about MMA needs to be treated and looked at and viewed like other mainstream sports. But then the athletes who are happy to bang that drum when it serves them don't want to go out and do what other mainstream sports do. Do you think that Brett Favre, do you think that Peyton Manning, do you think that Tom Brady sits down and changes whether or not he's going to suit up on any given Sunday when he looks at the schedule and realizes the Jets are coming to town as opposed to the Bills? Do you see where that gets silly and ridiculous? Do you see where MMA isn't like those other sports, but MMA guys don't act like those other sports? They only say it when the narrative serves them, and it all has to do with one thing, which is pay me more money. It's one of those tough spots, and when you see somebody like Adesanya who does everything right every single time, I encourage you to start copying him. And it's not just him, quite frankly. Volkanovski's out of that same gym. You got Dan Hooker who's out of that same gym. I don't know if I could be more impressed with a fighter than I am with Dan Hooker. I look what Hooker had to go through just to get to the fight with Chandler. And then he was there like another 73 days or something. You guys remember that story? Where he couldn't get out of Fight Island. He couldn't even get home. Feeling bad for yourself is hard enough. Feeling bad for yourself alone, a little bit harder. Feeling bad for yourself alone in a different country, Hooker never complained once. Hooker never made an excuse once. I mean, there's something going through that team, and the only guy I know that leads that team is Eugene Berryman. If I knew anyone else, I'd give them credit too, but I don't know. I don't know who the assistant coach there is. I don't know who manages that team. I don't know who talks and philosophizes for that team, aside from Eugene Berryman. So I got to give Coach Berryman the credit. I think Coach Berryman won Coach of the Year, by the way. I think he was acknowledged from the community. I know he did with Ariel Helwani. Helwani had a show, it was like an end of the year, it was on ESPN2, it was a really big deal, and Helwani at least recognized him, but I mean, there's something special going on with those guys. It's a very special mindset. And to have the skills and to have this level of success from some kickboxing gym in New Zealand, guys, this is incredible stuff. I don't want you to miss it. It's going on right before you. I don't want you to miss it. I want you to see it, but I also want you to help me out as it pertains to the middleweight division. Why is Cannonier think he can get a title shot? Why is Berryman talking about Darren Till might get a title shot? Why is Whitaker and Adesanya not officially on? Where was I, guys? I had to have missed something. Right?